Welcome back, you guys, and for those of you who don't know me, I have a passion for upcycling clothing and I teach sewing on here. I'm so excited to teach you guys how to eco print. It was highly requested when I made the video of the silk dress with lace applique, and eco printing is a natural way of printing on textiles. It is all done by hand, just with leaves and mordants. A mordant is used so the color sticks onto the fabric itself. For my mordant, I love using alum. It's just aluminum sulfate, so you can just purchase this at any grocery store. It's used for pickling. And iron, I prefer using the iron tablets just because it's more concentrated, so I find it that I get a better print with it. But you're also welcome to make your own iron water, which is just like warm water, vinegar, and you just throw a lot of rusted stuff into a bucket and then close it and just leave it there for 2 weeks. So that is also another way you can do it. And the actual plants I use for printing are eucalyptus, seeded eucalyptus, sand dollar eucalyptus. Any kind of eucalyptus prints so beautiful on silk. I did use a few wildflowers and I got that beautiful print. Also really like using rose leaves. So here's a rose leaf. Rose leaves leave a really nice green. So you're also going to need just a big pot to steam your fabric once it's all printed, and just a few buckets to kind of separate leaves and to soak your fabric. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, so please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I forgot to mention the kind of fabric I'm using. I'm using 100% silk charmeuse, and this is unbleached silk, so it's PFP silk. It's prepared for printing, so I consider it raw. You want to first just drench your silk completely underwater just so it actually absorbs the mordant when it's in the bath and it's not all patchy. Once it's completely drenched, you can just set it aside, and my niece wanted to help out, so she's my assistant today. To prepare the mordant bath, you want to bring a pot to a boil with about a liter of water, and you're going to just take your alum powder or alum salt, whatever you decide to use, and you're just going to pour a 2-to-1 ratio. So I have 3 yards of fabric, so I just added in about 6 tablespoons of alum into my boiling water, and I'm just stirring it until it completely dissolves. After it's completely dissolved, you're just going to pour it into a bigger pot. So this pot is going to be for the fabric to actually soak in, so you want a big enough pot so the fabric can move around freely. Pour some tap water into this pot and just fill it up until it's going to actually cover your silk fabric completely. So I just did this about 2 times just so I had enough water in there. And next you're going to just take your silk and put it in the bath because it's room temperature now, so the hot water no longer will damage your silk fibers. Now it's room temperature, so your silk will be fine, and you're just going to move your silk around in the bath. Just set it aside once it's all massaged in the alum, and next I'm just taking all of the leaves and just separating them in 2 buckets and just trimming off most of the stems. But I kind of like to keep the long stems on the eucalyptus because the leaves are kind of very close to the stems, and the longer eucalyptus, I like long pieces when I print. It's all a preference on how you want to print. You can also just have small individual leaves if that's the look you're going for. I'm separating the buckets for 2 different baths, so I like to have a variation of color in my prints. So one of the buckets I'm going to soak the leaves in alum, so I just heated up some more alum and just poured it in there, and I'm just filling it up to the top with regular tap water just to cool it down. I also like to add a splash of vinegar into this bath because with vinegar you get more of purple and brown hues. You could also just do a pure vinegar bath and see what it looks like. So now I'm just taking my iron tablets and pouring quite a few in a bucket, as you can see, and then I'm just pouring boiling water into that bucket so I can stir it until it completely dissolves. After stirring for a few minutes, the iron is completely dissolved, and I just pour it in the other bucket of leaves for the other bath, and then I take regular tap water and just fill it to the top. And this project takes a lot of patience, so you're just going to set these aside and let them sit for 24 hours and just come back and stir occasionally when you can. So it's been 24 hours and it's raining outside, or else I would have done this outside, but can't do that. So you're going to need a quite a big table, and then you're going to just like need to lay down some saran wrap, and I have my niece helping me out with this part. The floor also works great, so you don't need a table, and you want to use compostable saran wrap because using this much plastic, you know, isn't always the best when you have to throw it out when you're done. So you want to wring out your silk and then have somebody help you lay it down. Make sure the shiny side of the silk charmeuse is facing up. Now for the fun part of this project, just start taking all of your leaves and just kind of placing them wherever you want. There's no right or wrong way to do this, just have fun with it. With the excess saran wrap, just fold it over. I didn't do it on the bottom because some water spilled, so it wasn't sticky anymore. Get somebody to help you, so thank you, Mom, for helping me. And you're just going to place saran wrap right on top of everything to kind of encase it, and you're just going to like pat all the leaves down. You can also like hammer the leaves if you want. I just didn't have a mallet, so I'm just kind of rolling the bundle now. So just roll it really tight as you can, and then I take one end and just start rolling it in like a donut, and then I just take some saran wrap and just kind of tie the bundle around. And my niece decided to come back and help with this part, but she kind of just wanted to play with it. The bundle can finally be placed into your steamer, and I'm gonna let the bundle sit for about 2 to 2.5 hours in the pot, and you want to just keep the heat on low for the entire time. Once it's completely done and all steamed, you can just go ahead and turn it off. I like to leave my bundle like alone for 24 hours before I unravel it. It's the next day and I can finally open this bundle. I'm adding some vinegar to some regular tap water in a bucket and some detergent so I can get ready to wash the fabric when I open it. And this is probably my favorite part just because it's like opening a present. You never know what you're gonna get, and it's always such a surprise to me when like the leaves print, because it never turns out exactly the same every time I do it. It's always like a similar variation. I love how it turned out, so I'm just washing it by hand now. And next I just like to put it in a regular bath of just water so I can like remove all of that detergent, and then I just wring out the excess moisture. Hang up your silk so it can air dry, and once it's dry you can go ahead and just iron it. I'm obsessed with eco printing and I can't wait for you guys to try this out, and please tag me on Instagram if you do. I would love to see your eco printing.